Well, it is the return of the Mike and Tom Sports Show right here on KAZ Radio. Want to thank you all for tuning in out there on Ustream, Blog Talk, and KAZ. And for all of you that are a part of the KAZ family, welcome back to Sports with Mike and Tom. Well, guys, we're going to talk about the hottest thing right now in Cleveland, none other than the kid that has my last name, but no relation, thank God, LeBron James. Welcome back, guys. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up? Well, first of all, I got a name for him. Okay? Benedict Arnold.
That would be like Le Benedict.
Le Benedict? Le Benedict Arnold.
Yeah, I can't. Okay. I knew he would leave pretty much the whole time he was here. I knew eventually the pressure of the situation, being by himself, would lead him to make this choice. I just thought that he wouldn't say, I'm not good enough. Basically, I need somebody better than me to win this. I can't do it by myself. I didn't necessarily think that would happen. So, by him choosing to go to the Heat rather than staying here or Chicago or New York, he's saying, I'm not the man. I'm better as a second fiddle to Dwayne Wade's Michael Jordan. I'm Pippen. He's Jordan.
Yeah.
He's conceding that fact.
Yeah.
And I never thought a superstar that I 6 months ago, the argument was, is he the best player in the NBA? And I would have been like, I would have been on board. I've been like, yeah, but he doesn't have the mindset to be.
Yeah,
so he's not even in my top five. And you can make the case, if he's this down on himself, if he feels he doesn't have the skills to win it by himself, how can you even put him in the top 10?
Exactly. But I don't know. To me, I'm gonna go all the way back to when he came into the NBA. All right, I'm gonna start there. The system created this person. We all talked about that before. They created him from, like he said in his interview on ESPN, he wants to thank Cleveland organization from being a boy to a man.
All right.
Okay? They created this situation in 7 years. They created this situation. Like you say, he knew, and we all knew eventually he would go, but not like this.
No, I mean, we can get into the whole debacle that has played out the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
But the choice, if you just look at the choice, I have no problem with him saying, if he went about it the right way and said to Dan Gilbert, I don't think I can get it done here. I want to try somewhere else, and act like he says he's a 25-year-old man. Well, handle it like a man. He didn't. If he was upfront to Gilbert and let Gilbert make the proper moves that he needs to make as an owner of his team, so he can be successful if LeBron leaves, looking to move him in a sign and trade or to bring in a different free agent to take his spot.
Yeah,
which he can't. His hands are completely tied because everybody else who was worth anything is signed.
It's gone. Yeah.
So he not only hurt the fan base, he hurt the ownership of this team. So I can understand Gilbert's frustration. Do I agree with his frustration in how he threw it out there in that letter and then continuously came after him with the AP and calling him a quitter? No, you don't. I can understand him just saying, I feel that he was disloyal and things like that, but wish him well, wish him the best, and that's it.
So, question to you. How would you handle it like he handled it? Let's just say LeBron drug us through a media circus all these weeks, okay? And took us to national TV to say that. He didn't even have to go to national TV to say that.
No,
you see what I'm saying?
That's a part of the whole circus that is. I have a problem with him not communicating. And then to this point, he still haven't talked to Dan Gilbert. He could have talked to him one-on-one. No, it's done.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He could have talked to him before this even happened and say, look, like you say, this ain't working out. Such and such. You gave me all these years. He laid the red carpet out. He made the gym over there for me independent so he can have an easier way home.
Right. A lot of people are hurt because a lot of people's images are damaged. LeBron's is damaged because of how he okayed all this. And then LM PR or whatever they are, Maverick Carter's
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a horrible firm because they okayed this. So how could if you're an athlete or an entertainer, would you want anything to do with this PR firm? No.
No.
They came up with these decisions with LeBron and they okayed it, so they're bad. Dan Gilbert enabled LeBron for 7 years to do what he did, and now he's acting like a scorned lover.
Exactly.
Now he's hurting any potential free agent who wants to come to Cleveland because he's going to be like, if anything happens, he's going to throw me under the bus. So everybody got hurt last night around Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Fans, ownership, LeBron, his handlers, even ESPN's hurt because of that.
Now, may I bring a biblical perspective to this, gentleman?
By all means, my pastor.
Hurt people hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
Now listen to me. You just said all the people that got hurt by this. LeBron apparently was hurt.
Right.
And this is what hurt people do. They hurt other people.
Mm-hmm.
And his hurt came from the fact that the rumor that had been swirling around the camp about his mom, who if you notice, he mentioned her a considerable amount of times, almost as though trying to clean up her image. I trust my mom. I go to my mom. I listen to my mom. She helps me. I woke up this morning and talked to my mom. And I was wondering when he was going to say, I talked to my mom and we discussed this rumor thing. Because that's where he was hurt. That LeBron was hurt. There was something there that's not being said because the young man was hurt.
That's if there's any truth to those rumors.
Mm-hmm.
I could say okay, but I think LeBron James made his choice to move on years ago.
Thank you. Like I say, this goes back to when they played in the Olympics.
Yeah.
That bond. And even when they redid the contracts, all of them did it at the same time so they could all be free agents at the same time.
Yeah. Right, they colluded. Right. Yeah. Even though it's not against the rules for players to talk to each other, they all colluded together to do this.
Exactly.
And Dwayne Wade, I think the thought was maybe if the Knicks have the cap room, we'll go to New York. We'll be the Kings of New York. But Miami, being Wade was there, Miami played right into that. They're like, we'll do the same thing. You can have that here in South Beach. What better place of a year-round party plus playing for titles than South Beach? Yep. And Pat Riley sold it.
Yes.
And Pat Riley and Wade were on the same page. That's the problem with Gilbert. Gilbert was never inside LeBron's inner circle. He never knew what he was thinking.
Right.
I think Gilbert was in Dwayne Wade's inner circle, knew what Dwayne would want, and did everything it took to get what Wayne would need.
And you're right, because it's definitely not about the money, because he's nowhere going to get near.
No, I think the money in this day and age, you can make it up somewhere.
Yeah, he's going to make it up anyway.
I don't think the endorsements are going to be there.
The reason that they might is because now LeBron has become this, evil persona. He's taking, people think now, oh, you're just this bad guy. You look what you did to your hometown. That's spreading across the nation. I mentioned all the people who got hurt from this.
Right.
There's some people who made out, and one of those people is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's image is now through the roof. People now think Kobe Bryant's this great person because he stayed in L.A., because he's loyal to L.A., and he's a winner. Everything that LeBron James isn't right now, Kobe is.
Right.
Yep.
Well, you make a good point there. Unfortunately, LeBron had to take the city of Cleveland on national television to make that announcement. That's really where the real pain comes from. I mean, if he had left, like Art Modell or just like everybody else, I think it would have been fine. So that's why I'm saying there's more to it than meets the eye. Because why go to ESPN and make a 1-hour show and sell vitamin water and State Farm Insurance?
Well, you want to look at maybe the psychological aspects of why he would do something like this?
I mean narcissism.
Narcissism is egotistical, maniacal behavior.
Right. And you said it all along. Go ahead.
Maybe, okay, he's still a kid. He says he's a man yesterday, but He's not, because I called my mom this morning and she
Right.
gave me the thumbs up. I'm going to call her after this because I'm going to need a hug.
Right.
That's not. He's not a man. He's doing
Right.
everything he kind of says is like, I want to go hang with my friends.
Right.
I want to be in this bubble so people don't blame me for losses.
Bubble
they'll,
boy.
They'll blame Dwayne and they'll blame Pat Riley
Yeah.
and they'll blame Chris Bosh.
Yeah.
I won't take
Right.
all the blame.
Right, exactly. That's the whole reason why this is happening like it is now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you say,
right.
it's not me by myself now.
Right.
You know, I got options, and so if something go wrong with this, I'm not alone with this one.
Right.
Well,
I just think if he had somebody who would grab him around the neck, which he doesn't, and say, snap out of this, straighten up, this would have never have happened. Maverick Carter's not going to do that. That's his lifeblood, LeBron James. He has to attach himself to him and do whatever he wants, or he's going to be on the outside, and that horrible PR firm will fold, and he's got nothing. So he's not going to say anything. Nobody else is going to call him out. His mother, what does she care? She's getting money thrown at her left and right. Why would she say anything? More money, different city, doesn't matter to her. Nobody's going to say stop. At least Jordan had that with his family. He had a strong family unit. They would
Right,
say
right.
no. There was a lot of discipline there. LeBron has never had that.
No,
Right,
no.
right. I mean, he's from the hood, and he never did have that.
But-
it goes all the way back to his surrogate daddy, who ended up in jail.
I don't even
sometime.
know who it is. But
Right,
look,
right.
you look at Jordan's family, and the way that Jordan is, there was a lot of structure there, and he handled himself accordingly. He never
Yeah.
would have done this. When he came back in 95?
94,
He sent a fax
95,
out,
something like that, yeah.
and it's to Reinsdorf and says, I'm back. Or to everybody. That was it. There was no press conference. There was nothing. It was all business.
Right.
And that's why, there's a difference between Jordan and Bird and Magic. They conducted themselves a lot differently. And you say, oh, that's the old school way. But then you look at Durant this last week. You look
Yeah.
at Kobe.
Yeah.
They handle themselves differently.
Yeah.
It's not an old school thing. It's just you want to be bigger than what the sport is. And it's not.
Yeah,
you
but
got to
see-
understand. It's just a basketball game.
Yeah.
Right. It's just a game.
That's right. But Mike, you got to see one thing out of this whole thing. This boy was named King at 14. It was in his head at 14, 13, 15 years old. Okay? He was already set on a pedestal then. It's not like Kobe and them was, or Michael Jordan, all these cats. This guy had it all at that age.
I don't know. A king, it's more like savior. He was the savior to these people. He was their messiah to bring them out of
Yeah.
the wreckage that
Yeah.
was their life.
Well, he made the city businessmen a lot of money.
Yeah. Of course
Yeah,
he
well,
did.
everybody did. And last night was a perfect example. I mean, ESPN was like, you're going to just destroy your image. We're right there to film it. They didn't tell him no.
They didn't tell him
Right,
no.
right.
They didn't say that. Wait, LeBron, this is a bad move because this is what could happen. They're like, let's do it,
Yeah.
and we're going to pander to you all night long.
Yeah,
But I like
yeah.
Wilbon, though. Wilbon checked him on some things.
I think it could have been a lot harder. I think if you put a guy who wasn't going to fear that his relationship would have been damaged by his questions, those questions would have been a lot harder. I mean, like, why are you leaving Cleveland? And instead of just saying, let him answer his, with those soft answers.
Exactly.
You keep hitting him and be like, why did you never talk to Dan Gilbert? Why did you go about this and play this game with all these cities and all these teams?
Somewhere along the line, Gilbert hurt that boy's feelings. That's I'm telling you. Dan Gilbert, because the way Dan Gilbert's lashing out right now, there's some things that have taken place that we're not privy to. That so somebody's feelings got hurt because LeBron. I understand putting the team together. Wanted Chris Bosh, wanted to be with Wade, but the way he did it was vengeful.
Yeah.
It was revenge. It was not to put him on a pedestal. It was to latch out at Dan Gilbert because the real person that really latched out was Dan Gilbert. He's trying to hurt that man for something that has happened, and I don't know what it is.
It's all speculative by us. We don't know enough. But Dan Gilbert has done everything in his power to make him
make him-
happy.
yeah,
he's
everything
given
around him.
he's given his lackeys jobs. He's given them front court seats for free. His mother, his
Well,
girl,
well, well,
his
all those are
girlfriend,
mistakes.
who he never even mentioned last night. Never
Right.
mentioned the woman he lives with one time. That's ridiculous. And the first time in 7 years, Brian Windhorst has been covering the Cavs. Said this is the
Yeah.
first time he's ever mentioned God in any sentence he's ever mentioned.
Well, he didn't
last
really mention
night.
God. He said the man upstairs.
Even that, it was like it was
mean,
all
I mean,
out the side of his mouth.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But all this, the Boys and Girls Club was to soften the blow. Look,
Yeah,
I'm a charitable guy.
And he was all the way in Connecticut someplace.
In the richest part. Richest part.
Yeah, it is the headquarters of the Boys and Girls Club. But
he's in Connecticut, and I
gave-
heard the kids go, oh.
he gave $2.5 million to that charity. But that was just to soften the blow. Be like, I'm still a good guy.
Yeah.
He became Tiger Woods without the women.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what he is. Without the women,
He became the black art model. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to prophesy it right here on KAZ Radio. Because of his behavior, you mentioned Tiger Woods. You might as well mention Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
You might as well mention O.J. Simpson. Let me tell you something, young man. Every time you let the man put you up there, he'll pull the rug right up under you, and you come crashing down. It happens every single time. You are not capable of handling what the man can do. The devil is a powerful. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that LeBron kept saying is, it's all about me. It's all about me. It's all about me. I want this. I want to feel good. I want to be happy. Well, that's all the devil needs to hear, because, brother, you're going to be miserable for a long time, because he's not going to be able to handle the pressure that's coming towards him, even when he gets into Miami. It's like he sold his soul to the devil, and he doesn't recognize it. He doesn't recognize it. I recognize it. A mature person will recognize it. But like I said, this is just a game. But look at what has happened. I mean, they're burning his jersey in the middle of the streets.
Yeah.
It could have been worse. It could have been. I thought there would be more full scale rioting, but they're pretty much unscathed last night.
Yeah.
But the decision to leave Cleveland to go to Chicago, New York, or Miami, or wherever, I wouldn't have been mad at him saying, I can't do it here. I want to go somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's just where he ended up and who he's playing with that just puzzles me, and how he went about this decision, and being behind closed doors and not being upfront and transparent like you should be in this situation.
Right.
Because you don't want to screw over all these other teams in the process. It's just not not wise down the road.
Right.
Because he's got to realize that he'll be a free agent in so many years again.
5.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then on top of that, by having the internet that's so good, you got to watch what you say.
Right.
Because they'll go back and remember and go through everything that you said years ago, which he said in 2006, I'm not chasing no ring. Cleveland is the place for me.
Right.
Wow.
Loyalty all over his body and tattoos and all of this stuff talking about here.
Somebody hurt his feelings.
I know maybe not. I don't know, but I just think that he realized the fact that he's tired of being blamed for every loss or bitter defeat. That he mentally can't do it anymore, because he's so used to people saying how awesome he is. He can't handle the negative.
Right. And that's where the missing link is. He never went to college. That's the missing link. He never got the discipline he needed to become a man. He didn't get college is called discipline.
That's it.
It's a place where you get discipline. He never got it. He would have gotten it in basketball. He would have gotten it in academics. He totally skipped it. He went from high school because I was watching that documentary, and LeBron and all his boys, they were winning big time every game by 30, 40, 50 points. There was this one championship game they didn't win, because Drew was trying to tell them, look, guys, you need to practice. You need to buckle down. You need to stop all the wilding and all that kind of stuff you're doing. They didn't listen to him, and they got whooped. And it was obvious then that they were how do I put it? LeBron was he obviously was a sore loser, but he was hard headed. He didn't have the discipline.
Yeah.
He has a talent, but let me tell you something about talent. I've learned this. A lot of people have gifts, but it's integrity that keeps you there.
Yeah.
It's integrity. And when you don't have integrity, you don't have anything. And that's some of the things I feel. And honestly, I feel bad for LeBron, because he's going to have to now. Miami he's going to Miami, but it's a very faux pas place. It's fake. it's not a real down to earth foundational city.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all fake. It's all glamour. It's all feel
That's
good.
what it is.
That's why he's going down there, because he's 25 years old and he wants to have a great time.
Right.
And the basketball reasons is hey, I would love to be on a team with two other superstars. Chris Bosh really not a superstar, but in that he's in the conversation
Right.
of great players
Right.
in today's NBA. Just from that standpoint, you're going to be on a good team that's going to be in the conversation of the best team in the East or the best team in all of the NBA, and he knows that. But I think that decision was primarily made because I'm going to have a lot of fun. I don't want basketball to be so hard on me anymore.
And his
when I was in
entourage.
high school, it was easy. I want it to be easy again.
Right. And you're right. And that's exactly right. And his entourage is all for it because they all get to go down to Miami. LRMR is going to go down to Miami. All these guys are going to be down in Miami, living the Miami Vice scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
all in the water.
And it's going to and what's so funny is during the season you're playing ball anyway, so hey, you can't really enjoy it like you would now, I guess. So it's going to be interesting to watch. I think we're going to see it unravel, and we're going to see LeBron unravel.
I just hope, in this situation, I would just. I don't know what else to say about the whole thing, but
Right.
one person.
So,
Like I said before, the one person that really is going to make the most of this is Kobe Bryant, and Kobe's in the gym every single day, trying to get better and better and better, and looking for his
Another
sixth ring.
Yeah.
Is the second time on a back-to-back on a three-peat. I mean, LeBron doesn't have the mindset and the work ethic that a Kobe Bryant does. Kobe Bryant is homicidal in the way he looks at basketball. He wants to destroy everybody in front of him, like the way Jordan was. And you got to give all the respect in the world. And it's always been kind of hard for me because Kobe Bryant has always kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
yeah.
But now I see it. My eyes are open up to it. Kobe Bryant is what we always have wanted, since Jordan retired.
Yeah.
And he is that guy.
Now, let's take a few moments and analyze what in the world is Cleveland Cavaliers going to do.
Worst thing Dan Gilbert could have said is guaranteed a championship before the Heat. I mean, that letter was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. But the worst thing he could have possibly have said is that he's going to win a championship before LeBron does. It's not. Don't make it a race. Just say you're going to do whatever it takes to get back on top. Back competitive.
Like you say, it's emotional.
It's an emotional thing.
But he's got to come out today and say, "This was in the heat of the moment.
Right.
My keyboard fingers were going as quickly as I didn't
bad
read.
email guy. Bad email.
And stop it. Stop it right now. Do some damage control because any potential free agent or anybody that you're going to try to trade for is going to be like, really? I got to go play for this guy?
But you know what? I think it's good for the Cavs that this happened because now it makes these players play. LeBron was like, 65, 70% all the time with the ball. I've always said that one player had too much.
Yeah.
You had good guards. They were out of the plays mostly all the time, and then when pressure came or when situations come, you want these guards to handle it. When they double LeBron. You don't play it that way. Let these guys play their game. Now we really get to see how these guys play now because you got Byron Scott that's there, 3 championships, a guard, just like how Doc Rivers was, come with the mentality that these guys going to play.
Okay. Well,
you see what I'm saying?
So do we keep JJ?
Yeah, I think we keep everybody
Everybody's
on the roster.
Not Shaq.
No, Shaq gone anyway.
Shaq's gone. Zadrunas is gone.
You know what? He probably will go there because the Heat ain't got nobody anyway. Where they just picked up Mark Miller. Mike Miller.
If he wants to take the veteran minimum, maybe
they probably will. He probably will get it to get another. See if he can get another ring.
But the team as constructed with it's going to be as is. LeBron, Zadrunas, and Shaq are all gone. But basically, you're starting 5. If they don't do anything, which I don't think they will, I don't think they have the free agent class that's still out there. I just don't think it's appealing enough. So basically, it's Mo Williams, Anthony Parker. I actually think Jawad Williams will slide into the starting small forward.
Yeah,
and he's a local guy.
Yeah.
If you went to Bedford,
what's Mo going to do?
and Antoine and then JJ and then Anderson off the bench, some form of that. I really don't know. I think eventually Mo Williams will be traded. I think eventually Antoine Jameson will be traded, and then they're going to look to stockpile some sort of draft and build through that way, because you're not going to think, if you couldn't even keep your local guy, you couldn't even talk in your native son, you're going to have a hard time talking in any number of different free agents to come to this town.
Yeah.
So I just think that if you're going to do it right, you have to build through the draft, and you have to get a certain player who's loyal to his teammates, not the town, not the fans, not the ownership, to his teammates, that type of guy.
Right.
Who doesn't want to let his teammates down. A guy like Kevin Durant has kind of showed me that he cares so much about his teammates, he'll do anything for them. That's the type of guy you need in this town. And you gotta hopefully you can find him in next year's draft or 2012's draft or whatever.
And you're hitting upon something. What we need in this town is how do I put it? We need a team. A team. Team. A team. No I. No big I's, no little U's.
Right.
A team. If we can get a team, they'll all become household names.
Yeah.
That's what we really need to go for. But I don't think Dan Gilbert's prediction about winning before the Heat is. I don't know.
That's the only thing that'll come back to haunt.
I ain't gonna say
it'll continuously haunt him.
Haunt him personally, right?
Yeah, year after year, it'll haunt him.
Right,
I think the damage control from what this letter is, basically what it said, calling out LeBron being a coward or whatever. I think over time it'll fade from memory, but this town will remember you said you were going to win.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the problem, is that don't guarantee something when you're not even close to competing. We're not. Right now we're 2 or 3 steps behind.
Everybody already know that. So you already know it's already.
He said before the Heat. It's not even that we're going to win a championship in the next 5 years. It's we're going to win one before LeBron does.
Yeah.
So now you're not even just in a race to win one. You're in a race to win one against a different team.
Right.
Right now is what he's saying right now, because they're already looking at Miami up there anyway.
Yeah.
Within these next year, next year, whatever. So it's all anger. You know what I'm saying? It's all anger, and the fans. I'm gonna tell you, the fans can overlook that. That's nothing compared to this LeBron situation.
Right. They'll overlook Gilbert.
I'm telling you, they're going to overlook it.
What we're going to do is that we're going to have to point blame. And eventually, if you remember when the Browns left, we hated Modell. But Modell wasn't in this town anymore. So who did we start to not like? Mike White. Mike White became, you got rid of this team. You worked it out. And you and Voinovich. Basically, the blame was on
Mike
the city.
The team back. Mike got the team back.
No, not really. It was Paul Tagliabue and Al Lerner. Mike White he messed up the situation if you really look into it. Him and George Voinovich called Art Modell's bluff, and then Modell's like, well, I'm leaving.
I'm gone, right.
And then he was like, whoa, wait a minute. Well, I'll get a team back here. Mike White couldn't do anything. It was basically Al Lerner's pockets that could do things.
Right.
And then Mike White and how crooked he is, he got it passed and that syntax to build a new stadium. Right. That's basically all that was. But Mike White and his reluctance to build that stadium for Art Modell is the reason why Art Modell left.
You know what? You just revealed something to me. The reason the curse is on this city is because we had the nerve to call something a syntax.
Yeah. Well,
why would you play it a syntax? Why wouldn't you call it
an addiction tax? It's just cigarettes and alcohol.
Because you guys have cigarettes and because you guys are addicted to alcohol, we're going to call it a syntax and tax you sinners. Yeah. And the sinners are going to build all of our stadiums, and now we lose every freaking game because of it.
Well, it really shows you how the separation of church and state has gone over. Basically, I don't know. I mean, but we always need somebody to point the finger at. Mm-hmm. We need somebody to be like, "You're the one who caused syntax. You're the one who caused this, Dan Gilbert." And I think that's the way it will go.
I don't think. Come on.
I think it will. I think eventually that's the way it'll go.
I don't think so. Well, I really don't.
They're already doing it today. They're saying you enabled him to feel this way. They're blaming Dan Gilbert for him being a part of the problem and now acting like he's above it. He was a part of the problem to begin with.
Well, they all were. I mean, the
This-
guy that
see-
even had the team before Dan
Yeah,
Gilbert
see, that's
was a
what
part
I'm
of the
trying
problem.
to say. This just didn't start. This started when he first came here.
Right.
This Cleveland organization made this what it was. Yeah, Gilbert, he helped it. He helped it.
He just kept going what was going on before he got
Exactly.
here.
You know, he kept stringing it along and
Right.
doing the same thing instead of putting his foot down. He let it go just like the other ones did.
Right.
Yeah, but Gilbert's upset. It's not necessarily he understands it's a business, but he's upset that his corporation, the Cavaliers, has gone near worthless.
Yeah,
it's,
but if
it's worthless overnight.
Yeah, but if it would have been done right, if LeBron would have came to him right, he wouldn't be upset.
He wouldn't be upset.
That's what I'm saying.
But he would. He'd
be hurt. He'd be hurt.
He'd be hurt.
Of course.
I think so. Yeah, but that's what we're talking about. LeBron James and the way he conducted himself. But I'm telling you, and you stated that he must be hurt by something.
He is.
Why? I'm telling you, if more things come out, Dan Gilbert he'll be looked
the
at
culprit.
as the bad guy.
Okay.
All right, well, all we do is
LeBron James is going to be too far away
right,
for
because-
us to hate him in Miami. So who's closest?
Dan Gilbert.
Dan Gilbert will be
Okay.
the closest guy. It's the point of least resistance. That's it.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That's how we've always been. Who do we hate with the Indians? We hate the ownership. We hate the Dolans. Who do we hate? Well, Randy Lerner. We hate Randy Lerner too because he's killed
But
the Browns.
see, this
last
is a
10
different
years.
situation. This is a hometown kid.
We
From
never looked
from-
at things the right way. This town has
But
always looked at things
exactly.
the wrong way.
That's what I'm trying to explain
Yeah,
to
I mean
you.
that's why they get the syntax.
See, all these things you're saying is true.
Right.
But this is a total different situation. I'm telling you, this is total hometown kid.
Yeah, but
And-
Mike, but Tom, he has a point.
I just said that he does have a
Yeah,
point.
Okay, yeah.
He does have a point. It's legit.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I'm just looking at this whole thing, how it was done. Even though the Spike situation, yeah, I'm quite sure it is some stuff behind closed doors that's gonna come out.
Absolutely.
It's coming out.
On both sides. Any
coming
story that we covered up for LeBron and his mother, his family, or his
Right.
friends,
It's coming out.
It's,
It's
all
coming
coming
out.
out.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised when he was on ESPN. He didn't say I talked to my mom and Dante about this, and they told me to whatever feels good.
My new daddy.
My new daddy. My new dad.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry for being in the flesh, but yeah, it is obvious the kid is hurt, and you're right. All the stuff is going to come out in the wash, and someone's going to make more money off of it.
On both sides. There's a reason why Danny Ferry he pulled the plug. Danny
Danny
Ferry
got
didn't
out.
want
Yeah.
any part of
Yeah,
this
see-
because he saw it. He saw
Yep.
it. Dan Gilbert, you're going to go. It's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for LeBron.
Right.
Any way this shapes up, I got to go.
Yeah.
Right, gotta go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mike Brown.
Same
was
way
just happy
Mike
to get
Brown.
out.
See, all that situation
Yeah.
was for a reason.
Right. And you're right. You're
was
right.
for a reason.
I've always learned that too. I've always learned, and I won't mention anyone's names, but I have people that I know who they pulled out of certain situations, or they got fired, or got released in certain situations, right in the nick of time, because the house came crashing down.
Yeah.
You know, and that's called the wheat and the tares. Let them grow up together, but eventually there's going to be a separation. And sometimes we think the separation is a bad thing when really
It's a
it
good
may be
thing.
a good thing.
Yeah.
And Gilbert and his casinos and everything that he's doing to capitalize on the addictions of people. Hey,
Yeah.
LeBron just may get that ring before him. I mean, I'm just looking at it from that perspective. I mean, he's promoting gambling. Everything was built on a syntax. I mean, there's a lot of things to really look at. Now, I find it interesting though that Byron, the new coach, Byron Scott, he's a Christian. He's a Christian. I noticed he had the "What Would Jesus Do" on his wrist there. So hopefully he'll bring some
Yeah.
good karma
Yeah.
to the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. You really don't want to put each owner under a microscope because they all do some pretty,
Sure.
backhanded things. And if Gilbert, yeah, he's involved in casinos, but there's a lot of owners that have got their money from tracks or casinos. The Maloof brothers own a casino. They're the Sacramento Kings owners. A lot of these owners do a lot of things that maybe aren't the most moral thing in the world.
Right.
I mean, that's what they do. They take advantage of certain situations and make a lot of money on it.
Right.
I mean, Dan Gilbert made his money on mortgages. You
Right.
think those?
I mean, that's a terrible
Yeah.
thing. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's nothing but blood money. And LeBron picked up on that too. I mean, and what I mean by that is Gilbert's attitude was he used him. He used LeBron. LeBron was used. I mean, honestly, because it wasn't about the money with LeBron, because he's not making the money that he would have made there. He knew he was being used. And Gilbert probably called him a boy, and that was it.
I don't know if it got. I don't know if it got.
That was it. That was it.
Give me the definition. Give me the definition of being used as far as owner
Okay.
the coach, owner the player.
Okay.
I think they all, to some degree, all players are.
That's what. Don't say nothing. I wanted them to say something first.
Okay. We see all the signs of, the witness thing sitting up. Do you know how much money they pay that building a month
For that
put
billboard?
That billboard? $100,000 a month just to have that witness sign up there. Okay? Do you not know that Gilbert is hurting because his boy is gone now and he can't bring in that kind of money that from everything from Patini's bread and and all and Buffalo wing shops and everything dead.
Yeah, because I know they said $400 million they were making.
Yeah.
They're making under half of that now without him.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
It's cut in half, and it might even go even further because of the backlash from the fans eventually.
Yep.
Right.
Eventually, the fans are they're gonna stand pat for a little bit, be loyal, but it'll fade
It'll
quickly.
be just like the Indians.
It all depends. It all depends on how they play. Now they can overcome this if they get some type of bond and can produce something.
They got to be over 500.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got to
bare
be able-
minimum. They got to be over 500.
Yeah.
Right. And the whole thing about it is it's going to take months before they fill that arena. Now maybe the first couple of games, but then if they start losing,
then it's going
it'll
to
just start.
dissipate.
No, what happened is that
Season tickets are going to be cheap.
No, this is what happened. You had to renew your season tickets before the season was over, so everybody had to jump on board in hopes that LeBron James would re-sign. It's going to be sold out next year. Gilbert's making his money next year, but nobody's gonna go. They're going to be selling their tickets, giving them away, trying to get something back because they don't want to watch that product. Eventually, Dan Gilbert's going to have nobody renew next year. Not this October, but next October. Nobody's going to be there next year, and he's going to be dealing with 10,000 fans instead of 20,000 fans. It's going to be half.
Wow.
But the ticket sales are going to be up this year, but merchandise sales are going to be down, concessions are going to be down because people won't be there. So there's going to be a slow trickle the next year, but he won't hurt him unless he does something, over the next 12 months to fix it.
Right.
Until 2011.
Wow. Well. So honestly, you think the Heat are going to have a winning season this first year?
The Heat will. I think the Heat, Magic, Bulls, Celtics are your four best teams
in the East.
There's no question. And I think depending on who else fills out that roster, Mike Miller's. I think it's a great addition.
It is.
You bring in maybe two more extra pieces.
Stoudemire went where?
New York.
Okay.
So you bring in two extra pieces here and there. You get a good 6-7 guys that you can count on, and then maybe you pick up a good vet here, and that's it. You're set. You're good to go. You have a championship quality team. And then maybe Riles comes down from the press, the owner's box, takes over and takes him to the promised land. That's if you envision something happening, that makes a lot of sense.
You think Riley will come out of the press box out of the owner's box and do some coaching?
He did it. He did it before.
He probably does. He'll probably be doing some. He's coaching it now.
You got to look at that team. If you're Riley, you got to envision your glory days with the Lakers in the 80s.
Right. And then you got LeBron here too, and D-Wade together.
But Kobe's gonna be.
It stinks as a Cleveland fan, but I'm going to be rooting for teams like the Bulls to beat the Heat, teams like the Magic to beat the Heat, the Celtics to beat the Heat, the Lakers. I'm going to be rooting for these teams.
Right.
And I don't want to. I don't want to have a vested interest.
I want to root for Cleveland to beat. That would be great.
Yeah.
I don't want to root for spite.
Awesome to see Cleveland beat the the Heat.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. Cleveland beat the Heat.
Because they
Cleveland beat the Heat. I
don't
like that. Cleveland beat
I don't
the
think,
Heat.
I don't think it's going to be this year, though. I hope next year, the year after
But
that.
it all depends on what type of energy they bring. You know what I'm saying? Because they could slip up and get one of them. You know.
Unless you just want to go out and hurt LeBron, maybe you want to inflict some physical pain like the Pistons used to do to Jordan.
Yeah.
Beat him up.
Yeah. Hey.
You could do that.
Yeah, but who really wants to beat up on
But
LeBron?
to be honest, I'm looking at Chicago. Really, Chicago got it going on.
Chicago needs one.
When they picked up Boozer, I think that was it.
It was the best rebounding team last year,
Yeah.
and they pick up Boozer, who had 11 rebounds per. So they're strengthening that front. I love Joe Noah as a defender, rebounder. Just a nuts and bolts guy.
Mm-hmm.
They just need a shooter. If they get a 3-point shooter, guy who can spread the floor. I really like that team with Rose and how he can slash to the rim.
Yeah.
I like Luol Deng as a really good third, fourth piece to the mix. Just give them a shooter. I would really like the Bulls going into the future. And they have the cap space.
Yeah.
The only thing that stinks is that free agent wise, there's nobody there to pick up because Joe
Yeah.
Johnson stayed in Atlanta.
He stayed in Atlanta. Yeah.
And the amazing fact, Joe Johnson had signed the largest contract this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Out of everybody, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Mari Stoudemire, the richest contract was signed by one of the worst performances
Yeah,
I've
I
ever
understand
seen in
that.
Joe
Yeah,
Johnson.
right.
His
Yeah.
teams got blown out by 25-plus
Yeah.
points in the second round, and he's the guy who signed in the biggest contract.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the Bulls, they missed out. That's the kind of guy. I mean, they
Yeah,
got wrapped up in
exactly.
Wade. They got wrapped up
Yeah.
in this LeBron mess. But they should have been going after Joe Johnson because he would have been that perfect piece to slide in
Yep.
with Boozer. And then you have a really good starting five. I mean, as good a starting five as you could find from top to bottom. And a team that would play as a team. I mean, there would be
Yeah.
I need the ball. I need to shine. None of those guys would say it. All those guys would be more, I want to be focused on a one common goal.
Right.
But the Bulls going forward, that's all they need is that one big-time shooter.
Yeah. And they're going the right way with it. You know?
Well, it's been good. It's good to have you guys back here on KZ to talk about what's going on here. I wish I had more time to have promote this particular show, but people will come back and listen to it. I guess my final words is it's only a game, folks.
Yeah, it's a distraction to life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is a distraction to life, and we shouldn't reach a point where we're doing mean things.
Yeah.
Burning jerseys, throwing eggs at posters,
Destructive
being
stuff.
destructive. I think we should be past
I think
that.
alcohol fueled a lot of those activities last night. I think cooler heads have prevailed.
Yeah, because I think one guy got arrested.
Yeah, it should have been thinking what it could have done, what could have happened.
Yeah.
I think we were all right.
Yeah, well, and I think that in the future, Dan Gilbert, think before you write.
Yeah.
Think before you write. And like you're saying, a lot of stuff is going to probably come out now. Mm-hmm. It's going to all the way up into the season. There's going to be rumors after rumors after rumors, and more stuff will probably hit the fan.
Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
So, any last comments, guys?
If we are a lottery team next year, which I think we might be, I think this is a 30-win team that was helped by an amazing overall talent. I like Perry Jones out of Baylor. That's the kind of guy I would want to replace LeBron James. Look him up. I love Perry Jones. He's a really good talent. That's about it.
I'm going to say 40.
40 what?
40-win season. 40. Give him 40, 45. 7th, 8th seed.
High aspirations next year.
That's it. That's what I'm going to give him.
No, I think this is a lottery team, and we're looking at in the middle, 5th, 6th, 7th, picking in that range. I don't think we're the worst team in the league, but I think we're near the bottom, not near the top at all.
Well, Tom, you know how to take us out of here.
See ya!